Our cats are about to fight each other too, and we're about to psychoanalyze Bonnie.
What, Margaret?
Yeah,
I had a good word.
yeah, that's right. Athena can hear things others can with her super sensitive hearing. She can hear the emotions people suppress as a kind of noise or discord in their voice. All right, Athena, let's give it a try. You got it.
Hold it!
Your Honor, I'm afraid that our witness, Miss Defame, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident. She is? Yes, what with that terrible death on stage and her beloved Truthy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she is unfit to testify. What? Oh, I've heard of that. What is it called? Postal stress disorder, right? It's where people become uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere. That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD. Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she were a different person. Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness. Therapy? You don't know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. I've risked my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half. Oopsie. Boy, I have to watch my temper, don't I? Tee-hee. Aww. Miss Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady. And what exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice? With her super-sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear a witness's true emotions. Simply from tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what a person is feeling. I can even pick out feelings that a witness is trying to suppress or hide. Widget projects the emotions I hear into the mood matrix where I can analyze them. It sounds like some sort of spurious devilry, though I find it hard to believe. I must ask. How do emotion constitute evidence?
How does his visions constitute evidence?
Yeah. While I won't say that emotions can be taken as evidence per se, I've seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try. I see. If you are in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness. Huh, I'll disturb you! Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Satmadhi. Apollo, you remember how to conduct a therapy session, right? You want me to lead the session? Of course, you're the lead on the case after all. Fair enough. Do I need a refresher? No. No, not at all. I think I still remember it from last time, so let's get right into it. Okie dokie. You ready, Widget? Let's do this. I guess Trucy is the one who killed Mysterious. Yeah. Even she could move the body with that lift. I was on stage at the time. For that terrible mistake. My stupid flub cost Trucy so much trouble. I feel so bad about it. Well, that was an easy one.
She could have some weird, surprise emotion. Did she really make that mistake?
I mean...
I think it's just the truth.
Got it!
Yeah. I have to say, Mr. Fame, you certainly are a strange one. Even though you said I feel so bad about it seems you were feeling happy about it. I think I can guess why you were feeling happy. It must be because you messed Trucy up. I think that's it. I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I? You gotta be kidding me. Why would I be happy I messed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of hers. Because we saw you. I hate her, I loathe her, I can't stand that Trucy right. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling black is. Shh, stop it! Kitties! We saw how you said you hated Trucy right. How you were glad she was in trouble, and even how it was what she deserved. Ouch! Looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Arrgh. Apollo, the noise level dropped. Now, if we could get it down to 0... Well, Mr. Fame, are you ready to confess how you really feel? What? What do you mean? I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. I'm a rookie magician, working hard to be just like my idol Trucy. That's the character I'm supposed to be. Keep that up, Mr. Fame, and you're going to have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are. Who I really am? The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I can hear them, two distinct voices battling inside you. Shut your pie hole, you know-nothing know-it-all. I mean, you mustn't say things like that, or I might get flustered. Mr. Fame, how long do you insist on maintaining this wolf in sheep's clothing act? We can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Set the wild beast inside you free. Ouch! Grr. Heh heh heh. Ha 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 ha. Don't make me laugh. You don't know a dang thing about me. You want to see who I really am? Fine, take a good look. Oh my god! Her hair! Chee. What in the world? Sheep's clothing? You got it all wrong. It's a rabbit suit I've got on. And I'm not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire, a bat with fangs and wings. Eek! I think we just opened Pandora's box. Kiki. I'm finally done with that goody two-shoes cotton. Kiki. Defense, your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse from the looks of it. There's a perfectly good explanation for this, isn't there, Miss Sykes? Methinks I created a monster. We blew it! Hey you, lobster boy! Who, me? You think I'm glad Trucy's in trouble, that I think she's getting her just desserts? Well, guess what? You're right! Key. Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm? Well, the bat is out of the bag now. Hee. That mistake of mine was a work of art. Oh, she got it that time. Thanks to my goof, poor little Trucy had to do all of that hard physical labor. When you say hard physical labor, what are you referring to? Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both of those huge... What a riot! Hee. That's strange. Athena, could you please add that last statement to Bonnie's testimony? Alright, I'll update the mood matrix with the new info. Hey, Apollo, now there's a new inconsistency in the testimony. Yeah, she finally slipped up, so what do I need to do now? Well, from this point onward, you just do what you do best. Find the contradiction in the testimony and present evidence to refute it. Alright, I've got you now, Bonnie de Fame.
How can she have used the lift the hydraulic thing when one was already
Since it was ready all the way up. Yeah. But here it's already up.
How does she put in the coffin? She'd have to be up there on it too.
Yeah. And he said... Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both of those huge stage lifts. They must have been so heavy, what a riot. That's strange. There's a new inconsistency. So, it must have been so heavy, what a riot. And that's when he said that's strange, and then figured there'd be a new inconsistency.
Not bad.
I mean, we know she moved the lift, but
The other one shows her using a hydraulic lift.
maybe it is earlier?
Objection!
I don't think so. Oh, really? And how does it do that? I mean, you can explain, right? Of course because if you mess up, it will suck to be you if you get my drift. Kiki. I can't do it. Just as I thought. I'm not ready to be her human juice box just yet. I'm afraid the witness and I disagree on one point, Mr. Justice, because I'd say it does suck to be you right now. Well, there goes a pint of blood anyway. Okay, so it's gotta be this. Let's look at each piece of evidence. So you have to move it to do the escape. Wait! She told no one about this! Chuchi never told anybody that she had to do this.
Objection!
That doesn't make sense. What? So you think I'm crazy now? No, that's not the point I was trying to make. But I don't hear you denying it. Mr. Fame, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. He, that's right, and I still say that's just what she deserved. But how do you know? How do you know Miss Wright moved the stage lifts? Huh? According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone that she had done so. What? So how could you possibly have known what she had done unless you saw her? You saw Miss Wright move the lifts in the understage passage, didn't you? Yee!
Look, she's even a pretty uncomfortable guy.
Yeah, so now I'm curious about this. So there would be her, but then... You did Apollo, noise levels are at 0%. But Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean... Yes, Your Honor, Miss Defame herself was under the stage where the victim was killed. And I hardly need to tell the court what that means. You are one artful liar, Miss Defame, and one spectacular suspect. Yeah! Okay, now we gotta figure out how she's in two places at once. Why, you shiny red lobster boy. You're saying I killed Mysterious? I'm saying that it's a possibility. What's more, I said you had a solid motive to frame my client for the murder as well. My apologies for raining on the defense's merry revelry. But you seem to have forgotten one very important point, which I'm sure is the fact that she was there. Oh, really? The TV footage. As you can clearly see, Miss Defame was on the stage the whole time. The entire audience can bear witness to that fact, including you. Oh, yeah. You have just taken a long and senseless journey, only to return to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understate's passage, which means the only one left who could have killed the victim is the accused. Ah, so maybe your theory about there being two Bonnies is true. Guess the party's over. Yeah. But Miss Defame knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, Prosecutor Sadmadhi? It's quite simple. The accused must have told Miss Defame about it, but then forgot. Open those useless eyes of yours and take a good look at the footage. If Miss Defame really was in the understage passage, it would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time. You mean she was in two places at once? That does seem to be the only explanation that makes any sense. It may be an explanation, but I'm not so sure about the make sense part. Then we'll just have to make it make sense. Your Honor, the witness was both on stage and understage at the same time. That is the defense's assertion. I've heard some illogical things come out of you before, but this is absurd. I'm sure you'll change your tune once you hear my reasoning, Your Honor. My gut tells me you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Very well, Mr. Justice. How do you explain how the witness was in two places at once? There were two Bonnies. The Bonnie on stage was fake? That's...
I think that there's two Bonnies.
Yeah. I think you're right. There were two Bonnies, Your Honor. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? There were two of them. I suspected you had a few screws loose, but now I see some are missing altogether. Is there a toolkit in this courtroom, Your Honor? I suppose two, no 3 screws to the head, should right in his putrid brain. Very well, bailiff, you... No, wait, please listen to my argument. Very well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least give it a listen. As was argued earlier, Miss Defame is shown in the footage the whole time, but at the same time she was also watching Miss Wright in the understate's passage. The only possible explanation is that there are two Bonnies. You know, that almost sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor Sadmadhi? This humble servant of the Holy Mother is of the opinion that we should lose no time in replacing the defense's many lost screws. But Apollo, it goes against reality itself to say that one person is actually two. But we don't have to be bound by reality. After all, we're talking about magic here. So if the Bonnie Defame in the footage is the real Bonnie, then the Bonnie here on the witness stand, the one who must have been understage, this Bonnie Defame is our second Bonnie. She is? Say we call the one in front of us Bonnie number 2. I believe I have just the piece of evidence to prove that a Miss Bonnie number 2 exists. Oh, then please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of a Bonnie?
Fingerprints in the closet. Because they're not this Bonnie.
Oh, you mean the third?
Unknown prints, but they're not real.
That's right.
Wait, prints on top of the Bonnie the thing.
But on top panel, unknown.
Yeah, I think that proves there's another print.
Take that!
What's this? During our investigation, we found a set of unknown fingerprints on the coffin on the stage. These prints were most likely left during the course of the show. But they didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case. An unknown third party's fingerprints?
Oh, I'm shocked you got that in your vision. It's not.
I was not told of this. Emma must have kept it from him. So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Miss Defame, or should I say Bonnie number 2? These are your fingerprints, aren't they? Yag! Enough of this foolishness! One person could not possibly be two. Those fingerprints could have been left not only during the show, but at any time. It's not like you to lose your cool like that, Prosecutor Sadmadhi. And I'm sure you know that exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue. What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice? The issue is, who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie DeFame's. But what if they belong to the person standing right in front of us? Oh, you mean Bonnie number 2 was the second Bonnie? Is that what you're implying? It's preposterous to suggest that those prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other unknown individual. Prosecutor Sadmadhi, can you really look at her and still say that? What are you looking at? Take a picture, it'll last longer. How could this be? If we check her prints, I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to the real you belong to you, don't they, Bonnie number 2?
Gee.
Witness, is what the defense has said true? He. Fine, I admit it. The fingerprints are mine. Then does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFame? What? Ridiculous! Are there really 2 Bonnies? Nope, there's only one Bonnie. That's because... I'm Betty. Betty DeFame. What? Ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show. Gasp in amazement as this lagomorphing illusionist performs her teleportation trick. Watch closely, it's showtime! Wow, look how excited Athena was.
I told you they said no one could perform this trick quite like her, and the only explanation is this too.
Ah. Man. It's funny how you caught that before I even had a clue that was even possible. The witness has split into 2 people? It's not a trick, no gimmick to it either. We're simply twins. What? Twins? So that's how the teleportation trick works. Ever since our debut, I've had to hide and pretend I'm Bonnie. All cute and sweet and goody-goody. I can't tell you how stressful it's been. But I don't have to hide anymore. That's right, our days of sneaking around are finally over. Their cover is blown, but they actually seem pretty happy about it. So which one of you was the nice Bonnie DeFame we met in the dressing room? That would be me. And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw with the ratings Raja on her stage was... Hey, who are you calling sharp-tongued? It's all starting to make sense now.
You know, they accept guys like me every time.
Yeah, makes me wonder. So, Mr. Justice, this changes the facts of the case rather dramatically, doesn't it? It certainly does. During the show, it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time, so Bonnie couldn't have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was understage, did have the opportunity. Well, now we have 2 suspects. Wait just a minute there, Lobster Boy, I didn't do it. That's right, Betty might have a foul mouth, but she'd never kill anybody. Hey, who's got a foul mouth here? Oh, well, speak up, huh?
Hold it!
Please save your sibling squabbling for later. Betty, you must have been in the understage passage during the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about the stage lifts being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there? Fine, I'll testify. Anything to get you off my back. Prosecutor Sadmadhi, Betty DeFame is ready to testify. What do you say? Betty, You lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother. Hey, what else could I do? I couldn't blow our cover and ruin our magic act. Hee hee hee, besides, am I gonna go to your Twilight Hell or whatever for being a liar? You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather, I shall give you a taste of your punishment on this mortal coil in interrogation hell. Eek. Now then, Betty DeFame, please explain to this court what exactly you were doing under the stage. It's true, I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It was the fire trick, right? The one Mysterious was supposed to do. That's right, it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. It was in the script, and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident. Shut up, you're gonna give it away! Anyway, I was real busy. Yeah, way too busy to have the chance to kill Mysterious. But she wasn't busy because the fire bucket wasn't even ready. Well, that was certainly different. Hee hee, how's that for a flawless testimony and alibi? Our magic is real, it's not a trick or gimmick. Oh my, she's floating! Your Honor. You can see she's being held up from below. You were supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette. But can't help it. Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out. Now then, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I'm gonna go right for it.
Objection!
And that was bad. Yeah. Silly me. Okay.
Hold it!
Let's go fire check. Bonnie, we're trying to get Betty's testimony right now, so... Oh, right. I'm sorry. You can step down if you'd like. I'm worried about Betty, though. She can lose her temper and say awful things sometimes. Hey, what are you, my mother? Don't forget, I'm the older sister. You got that? Me? Yes, I got it. Guess I'd worry about Miss Betty constantly blowing her top if I were funny, too. So, Betty, you were down under stage getting ready for the fire trick, were you? That's right, it was a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. And you were taking every necessary precaution, is that right? Of course, every precaution. After all, it's a very dangerous trick that uses real fire. I mean, we had to be ready in case the curtain caught on fire or something, right? By the time people realized it wasn't a part of the act, it might be too late, huh? But if by people you mean Athena Sykes, then yes. Wow, a fire trick. That sounds really impressive. Hee hee hee, your beard would go up in smoke, old man. I bet people would mistake you for a cue ball or something without it. A cue ball? Betty, don't be rude to the judge. Hee hee hee. Betty, you know that fire trick?
Hold it!
It's in the script. She was sweating a lot.
Yeah. I see the fire trick. Well, the show script. See? It isn't a trick. I see the fire trick was part of the script. It seems Mysterious was scheduled to perform it later in the show. Did you not get to see him practice it beforehand? No, during rehearsal, he said he didn't feel well, so he couldn't breathe any fire for me. Wait, let me get this straight. He couldn't breathe fire because he wasn't feeling well. My magical powers appear to be on the wane today. That's what he said. So it was a part of his usual The Great Mysterious shtick. It's really too bad I didn't get to see the trick because of the incident, which was completely unexpected, of course. Hey. Shut up, you're gonna give it away. Anyway, I was real busy.
Hold it!
So what exactly do you mean by you're gonna give it away? See, Bonnie, you and your big mouth. Now Lobster Boy wants to know what we're talking about. Eep, I'm sorry. Yes, well, if you were preparing for the next magic trick, I'm sure you wouldn't have had the time to commit murder. Wow, looks like the old geezer isn't senile just yet, huh? I bet you'll live a good long life. Ho ho ho, I plan to be sitting up here at least another 10 years. 10 more years? I don't know about that. What did we discuss about inner monologues, Athena? Well, more power to ya, I guess. In any case, I was so busy I didn't have the time to off anybody. Yeah, way too busy to have a chance to feel mysterious. Are you just trying to cover Betty? No, of course not. I believe in my sister. I know she'd never murder anyone. But you think my client would? No, I believe in Trucy too. I know she'd never murder anyone either. Well, we just ran out of suspects in that case. Yes, but... See? You should have just kept your mouth shut, dummy. You're just making a fool of yourself. Just be nice and quiet like a good little bunny, got it? Alright, I guess I'm no help. Oh boy. It's impossible to get anything out of Bonnie with Betty right there. So Betty was too busy getting ready for the next trick to have time for murder, huh? There must be some way to prove that wasn't the case. No, I presented it at the last part where she said too busy. I had to make sure we were prepared. Yes, let me see.
Objection!
There we go. I hate to break this to you, Betty, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. As big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier. Oh, harsh words. Well, let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick. No one except me, you mean? Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeves. Huh? We do? I told you to keep it zipped. Now, don't fight, you two. Mr. Justice, what's this about a flaw in the testimony? The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust. Ack. Ouch! You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty? You got me! Betty DeFame, you will explain yourself. There's nothing to explain. Come on, Betty, we can't hide that any longer. We might as well tell them. Shut up, you can barely take care of yourself. Don't try and tell me what to do. Well, if neither of you will explain, I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is because she knew the show wouldn't go on. Yeah. You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found and the show would then be cancelled. Ah! Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna yank those lame bangs off yours. Ah, is that what you want, huh? Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already. I can't reveal my secrets. I'm a magician. You have been chasing the shadow of an illusory culprit, Defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you have let yourself get carried away. Exactly. Where's your proof, huh? And yet, I can see that the witness's taste for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness. Deceitful trickery. As your court-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again. Huh, but all these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison for real. So I'll be behind bars either way. Does that mean you're admitting your guilt? Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do. You... Lobster Boy, Cue-Ball Geezer, Headcase Brat, Cerberus Monk. Cue-Ball Geezer? Headcase Brat, really? Betty, calm down. Come on now, deep breaths, deep breaths. Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you. Then how did you know the show would be called off before the fire trick? I told you we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract. Contract? What is she talking about? Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case. I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case. Huh? Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage, and second, that the victim, the witness, and the accused are the only two who could have done it. Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found, and that the magic show would then be called off. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim understage. But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some other reason? Like what? In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. That, in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such dramatic fashion, all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance. Gee. Ouch. Planned out. After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media of this country. I read the newspaper, old news reports, I even browsed tabloid magazines. How very industrious of you, I'm impressed. During this process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Ah! Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended. You two were informed of this plan by Take-Two TV in advance, correct? Ah! Is that true? Betty, please, let's tell them now. I can't hold it in anymore. Dang it, fine, you got us. Everything the prosecutor said is true. The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan. It was all a prank, a big setup planned out in advance. Mysterious showing up dead in the coffin. The set piece falling down. It was all completely scripted.
He's really dead.
Yeah.
So did they know he was going to die, or did they think that was the prank and he was going to be really dead?
Yeah. I think, basically, somebody killed him after the fact. Bonnie, is this really true? Yes, Mysterious was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go. So he was in on it too? That's right, he was supposed to show up dead in the coffin. And then the set piece would fall down. Trucy would be shocked and start to panic. That's how the prank script went. What? What the heck kind of prank is that? But we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Poor Mysterious. I'm so completely lost right now. Well, Betty and Bonnie, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do. Alright, I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Hee. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully. You'll never hear this kind of thing anywhere else. After our teleportation trick, I went down understage. When Mysterious's body appeared from the coffin on stage, it was time for Betty to do her job in the understage passage. That's right, I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon set piece. And made it fall down. And just before the dragon fell, I called Trucy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt. After that, the plan was for Mysterious to come back to life in front of a panicked Trucy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That's how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason, he really did turn up dead, so he just kind of stayed on the ground. What kind of sick joke is that? It sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was trying to do her magic show. I guess so. I'm sorry, Trucy. Whatever, it was all the ratings Raja's idea anyway. Yeah, it sounds like just the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with. This is the prank plan script we got from the ratings Raja. Dang it, you made us break our contract. Now we won't get paid. Let's see this. Mysterious's body will appear in the supposedly empty coffin, which should cause a big ruckus. After capturing a bit of Trucy's reaction on film, Mysterious will come back to life, laughing and flying up into the air, causing another round of surprise. I don't see anything about the dragon, though.
About the dragon falling?
Yeah.
True.
But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim and when? Yes, exactly. Those are the key questions. If Mysterious was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as part of the prank, then when he was understage, there would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who was also understage, may be excluded from our list of suspects. Ah! Witness, was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin? Oh, well, now that we've spilled the beans, we might as well show you this video. Greetings, viewers. It is I, the Great Mysterious. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trick. Having snuck through the understage passage undetected, I am now hiding backstage, preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trucy will stab with her rubber sword. And when the coffin opens, ho-ho! I will be in it, acting as though I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? Ho-ho, I can hardly wait. He's about to hide in the coffin? It would seem the threads of karmic destiny have led us to the truth. The victim passed through the understage where Betty the Fame was and came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mysterious appeared to be backstage when he shot the video we saw. It appears that way, yes. And defense, you proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then, what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mysterious entered the coffin. Oh, so does that mean... Yes, it is horrible but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. When into the coffin where Mysterious was hiding, Trucy Wright thrust her blade. See? Told you so. So are you saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank? It would be an accident if the accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. So let us ask the accused herself. Miss Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank? What? I... Tell him, Trucy, you didn't know anything about it, right? Of course I didn't. I didn't know a single thing about it. Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case, you leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence. It looks like some sort of note? Ah! That's... I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. At the time, I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now. Bonnie, get the video camera after Mysterious comes tumbling out. Trucy Wright. What's this? Let's see, it says, get the video camera after Mysterious comes tumbling out. It is a note signed by the accused, instructing Bonnie to collect Mysterious's video camera from him, it seems. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I found it in the dressing room before the show. When I saw it, I realized that Trucy knew about the prank. It does bear her signature, I'll give you that much.
It's a confident signature.
Yeah. So the defendant had prior knowledge of the prank. It would appear so, yes. When she learned about the plan to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage. So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin, where the victim stood chuckling to himself. Is that not what happened, Miss Wright? Of course not, and I didn't write or sign that note. Ah, but the handwriting matches yours. All of the evidence and testimony points to you being the culprit. But I didn't do it, it wasn't me. Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not? I can't explain it. I didn't write it, so I don't understand. I didn't kill Mysterious. You have to believe me. Yeah, it has something to do with that forging signature stuff. Or the... The silence is deafening. Continue struggling against the threads of your own karma if you wish, accused. Even as you are inescapably caught in the web of fate you've spun for yourself. Miss Wright, it is time to resign yourself to your fate. No, I didn't do it. I knew it. That sweet-looking girl, a murderer, she took all of us in with that act of hers. I told you, I knew she was a homicidal little witch from the start. But I didn't do it. I really didn't. Why doesn't anybody believe me? Shut up, you killer. We won't fall for that anymore. This is bad. Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. Give your official ruling, and let us offer the victim's soul the last rites it deserves. Very well, I suppose I have no other choice.
Serious, like right now?
This court hereby finds the defendant Strucy Wright. Go get him, Apollo. The defense has an objection. Apollo? You, even now you would. I won't give up, and I refuse to let either of them down. Mr. Wright, who's counting on me, and Trucy, who's put all her faith in me. Mr. Justice, the fact that you have raised an objection means that you have evidence with which to refute the prosecution's claims, correct? Yes, we do. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Do we really have anything, Apollo? Actually, we do. There's one piece of evidence we can present here. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may proceed. As we saw on the show footage, there's no question that the defendant thrust a sword into the coffin. The defense doesn't dispute this point. But let us not forget that this was a magic show filled with tricks and illusions. We can't take everything we see at face value. So you're saying some sleight of hand was somehow involved? Yes, the defense contends that the sword the defendant used was not the cause of death. Now what was it Trucy told me she did just before she thrust the sword into the coffin? Very well, let's see your evidence then, Mr. Justice, but remember, you interrupted my verdict to make this claim. You will be severely penalized if I find you are bluffing. Alright, that's fine, Your Honor. So wait, if we're talking about the sword, then we're not showing the thing with the signature. This shows that it's possible that the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death. So let's see what we got. Contains the rubber sword. Trucy says she swapped in for the trick.
He's also stabbed in the back. Like not.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that.
Take that!
And how exactly does this prove your point? Huh? Oh no, looks like I got it wrong. As I said earlier, Your Honor, you can't take everything at face value. All I was trying to say with this is that it's not the evidence we are looking for. And just as I said earlier, Mr. Justice, I have a whopper of a penalty for that bluff.
What else have you stabbed in the back with?
Yeah, that's the thing. So,
And he has the hardest to blow him up.
that's okay, let's go back. Oh! He's taking 3 away if we get it wrong. Let's see. I mean, that shows the back. But this is literally saying the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death.
What about in the damage sword? Is there a class there?
It says it contains the rubber sword Trucy says she swapped in for the trick. I don't know if that's strong enough to show, although maybe it is. Shock as a result of being stabbed through the back with a sharp blade. Let's try it.
Take that!
What's this, a sword from the show? That's right, Your Honor. This rubber sword was in this sword stand understage. During the trick, Miss Wright was supposed to swap the real sword for a rubber sword. And she told us on record that she remembers very clearly that she did. I see, so the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin was a rubber sword, was it? Then why was the steel sword found lying on the stage? Somebody must have put the steel sword there by swapping it with a rubber one. Just after the incident occurred, the dragon set piece fell and the theater was evacuated. The real culprit must have used the resulting chaos to swap the rubber sword for the steel one.
It's not in the script to drop the dragon.
Right.
Objection!
Do you not know when to give up, Stinkbug? That is not possible. Blood was found in the coffin hole that the sword was thrust into. It must have been left there when the accused withdrew the sword. This is incontrovertible proof that the sword she used was the steel one.
Objection!
But that blood could be the result of someone tampering with the crime scene after the fact. After the set piece fell and the audience was cleared out of the theater, there was plenty of time for somebody to plant that blood there. If the sword the accused used was a rubber one, then when exactly do you propose the victim was killed, given that Mysterious was alive when he entered that coffin?
Objection!
Finding the answer to that question is precisely why we need to continue this trial. Let me express my opinion. By all accounts, it is certainly reasonable to suspect the defendant based on the evidence. But as to the question of whether the sword the defendant used was rubber or steel, I believe further discussion is warranted. I suggest we hear from the defendant herself on this issue. Very well, Your Honor. Yes, I saved it somehow. Too close for comfort, but still. Let's adjourn for a brief 15-minute recess. I advise the prosecution and the defense to use this time to prepare.
That might be a stopping point.
Let's see if this is the end of the chapter. Phew, that was hairy. Tell me about it. We barely made it through by the skin of my teeth. I can't say I'm crazy about that prosecutor Sadmathi either. You know, with the way he says let it go and move on as if it's nothing. Let it go and move on, huh? Whoa boy, am I interrupting a secret conclave of villains or something? Oh, is this the ratings, Raja? Yeah. Got your next evil scheme in the works already? What do you want? Heh heh, keep making that face, champ, and everybody's gonna change the channel. Look this way, Trucy, and I'll smile for the camera. Let's see those pearly whites. Isn't that what the Grimmarier Creed tells you to do?
How does he know that?
Yeah. How does it feel, Trucy? Everybody online can't stop talking about you. They're calling you a real witch out there. Could this be the end of Truth Grimmarier? Go away, you creep! Oh, what's this? Something just charged into frame. It looks like a yellow gorilla or something. Could it be Trucy's pet? Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff? Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me. Huh? What happened to the camera? It just disappeared right before our very eyes. Heh I'll be enjoying the rest of the Trucy show from the gallery. I put out a call for Trucy's fans to come and support her earlier, by the way. Bet I'll get some great footage out of them. This is gonna be good. Hang loose, baby. He called in some of Trucy's fans, but for what purpose? Apollo? That thing Mr. Reddens just said, that was some high-level sleight of hand. Huh? Why would he know how to do something like that? I don't know, but he definitely has some serious magic skills. No way, but I thought he said magicians were all a bunch of good-for-nothings. But we did suspect it, like, did he have some kind of
Yeah.
falling out with Germarier? Mr. Lawyer? Oh, hello, Bonnie. Can I help you with something? Oh, well, there's something that's been bothering me. Really, what is it? Well, you see... Hey, dummy, what are you whispering to Lobster Boy about? Betty, who the heck do you think you are? Are you crazy? You want a piece of this? You know you have to talk to me first before you do or say anything, you harebrain. Meep, but I... Shut your mouth, you dumb bunny. Come with me now. I wonder what was bothering her. There's no way we're finding that out with Betty constantly hovering over her like that. Court is about to reconvene. Will you be alright testifying? Yes, it's just... I wonder what Mr. Reddens has up his sleeve. I doubt he's bringing in actual fans. Yeah, probably not. I wonder what he has up his sleeve, too. He'd better not be trying to get under Trucy's skin right now, of all times. You're Trucy right, and you'll be fine. Oh! There goes Apollo with his best trick. That's right, whenever I'm feeling down, I always tell myself I'm fine. Alright, I'll give it a try. I'm Trucy right, and I'm fine. Thanks, Polly. I think I can do this now. That-a girl. Good luck up there on the stand. You'll be great. Thanks. I'll be fine. I can do this. Alright, Justice, you can do this too. Time to focus on the rest of the trial. Okay, so now we're safe. Yeah, so he has some magic skills. You know, I like this case partly because I feel like Trucy got shafted in the last game. Like, we had this whole game with Trucy and Apollo, and in Apollo Justice, and then Athena took that role, so they had nothing to do for Trucy. But now we kind of have, you know, a case all about Trucy.
Yeah,
And-
she's taking hostage for a while ago.
Yeah, but like she was with us once for like investigating, and I don't know. I kind of like that we're giving Apollo, Athena. I mean, Apollo, Athena had plenty of time in the last game, but I like that all three of them were able to get this time, and there's more time with Athena and Trucy as well, which we haven't seen. So that's nice. But I'm very curious what was bothering Bonnie, obviously. But I'm curious what Mr. Reddens' background is, because if we're not going to do another day of investigating, then my guess is that Mr. Reddens is the guy responsible for this. The whole thing. Because I thought maybe the unidentified fingerprints were the murderer, but since they've been accounted for, I feel it's probably Mr. Reddens. But I'm curious what his background is, and I'm honestly curious. Honestly, I just want to see him lose his cool.
Well, I wonder if he's related to the other magician that was friends with her dad that wanted to marry her mom or something. Because, like, he's obviously pissed and he doesn't want. Because they only passed down the tricks to Bloodline. And Trucy's the only Bloodline.
That's right.
So I wonder if he's somehow loosely related. Or maybe he's Apollo's dad.
Dun dun dun.
Because you remember that the lady was married before and she had Trucy and had Apollo, but we don't know whatever happened to him, do we?
We don't know what happened to him. He has something against the Grammariers and Trucy, but the fact that he knows that Grammarier Creed makes me think he really does have a lot of history with the Grammariers.
Yeah, I wonder if he was the previous husband of... I don't know what her name is.
Lemire?
Yeah, but she also had another name when she was acting. She was Rhaenyra when she was singing, but when she was the
Oh, I don't remember her real name.
anyway.
Something Gramarye?
Anyway, could it be that he's actually a Paladin?
That would be interesting. I'm very curious because, as I told you in the last game, not while we were recording, I have heard that the mystery of the parents is never resolved to the two of those characters in these games. So that basically by the end of the game, like by the end of Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, they still don't know their brother-sister. So I don't know if this guy would be the dad knowing that. And the only reason I ever told you that was because I kind of didn't want you just waiting for that twist to finally happen where they figure it out, since I've heard it just doesn't. But I'm still very curious about his background, because,
He was obviously involved with them at some point.
yeah, and I didn't expect him to do magic just then, which he did. So, this is going to be an interesting trial. Interesting rest of the trial. So I look forward to completing that. And for now, we will wrap this one up. All right.